Okay, so just put in a couple of break tags to move the next form control, which is for the last name. So again, this is a label, and just put it in simply here, last name. And again, we're going to have an input element of type text there, and close that off. And again, if we just have a quick run of that, we can see up here, this is how it presents. Lovely, that's what we want. But now to give it some attributes here, so we're going to say that this label is for some input box, and we'll know that when you're binding them together, the label will know that it's to be put with an input box. So it's for some input box with an ID, and what ID will we give it? We'll give it an ID of last name short. So it's for an input box of ID, L name, and that's the only attribute we need to give for the label now, and I'll show you exactly how that works in a moment. Name is equal to last name, and that's to do more with actions, like when you click on a button. And placeholder here is equal to your last name, and your last name. And the first one up here, I probably should have said something like your first name. Okay, so now let's run that. You can see here when I refresh this, I've got the two placeholders here, your first name, your last name. So when I click into this, it toggles waiting for my answer. But the great thing about it, because I binded the label and the input box together, when I click on the label, watch what's going to happen here. When I click on the label, it gets toggled, and that's because I binded them together using the for and the for here. And this again, it's saying that this label is for an input element of with an ID of last name. So that's in that particular case last name, but up here also for the first name. But now we've got all that done, and we'll move on in the next video to add some, what's next? I think it's a radio button for gender. So we'll just get a couple of break tags ready here, and see you in the next video for putting in the radio section for the gender.